Hare Krishna.
थोड़ा साउंड दीजिए.
आज हम क्लास इंग्लिश में दे रहे थे. कितने भक्त हैं जो अंग्रेजी नहीं समझते? अच्छा. Oh, you can play with me? It's very difficult. You have to be an expert musician. Survive. To follow me is very difficult. To follow me, is very difficult. स्वामी प्रॉपर महाराज की भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रॉपर महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की प्रॉपर की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कौशिक के चैतन्य प्रभु ने कराना श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव गौर भक्त की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंज राधा कुंज गिरि गौरान की वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम की गंगा माई की नंदा माई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की संवेद भक्त गौर प्रेमानंद और ग्लोरी श्री और ग्लोरी और ग्लोरी और ग्लोरी श्री गुरु हरे कृष्णा। आप में से कितने भक्त हो जिन्हें अंग्रेजी बिल्कुल नहीं समझ आती? नहीं समझ आती। तो जिन्हें अंग्रेजी बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आती वो पीछे बैठ सकते हैं, क्योंकि कोई अनुवाद कर सकता है। क्योंकि ये क्लास विदेशों में भी सुन रहे हो. Is that okay? Can you translate for them, Arvind? If you want to do it, that's the best. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'm requesting Akura to read you have the book? Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we won't do the Sanskrit. These are the long verses. Let's do the translation and purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 10. These are the long prose verses, so we won't do the Sanskrit. We'll do the word meaning and translation. Okay?
sakṛd once, avagata-viṣaya-vaitathyaḥ, becoming conscious of the uselessness of enjoyment, material sense gratification. Exit. Svayam. Himself. Para-abhidhyānena, by the bodily concept of the self. Vibhraṁśita-smṛtis, who is the mind? Tayā, evābhidhāvati, marīci-toya, water in a glass, prāyān, similar to tāna, those sense objects, evābhidhāvati, abhidhāvati, Translation. The conditioned soul sometimes personally appreciates the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world, and he sometimes considers material enjoyment to be full of miseries. However, due to his strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed. And again he runs after material enjoyment. Just as an animal runs after the mirage in the desert. Forward, by His divine grace, is equal to the Swami The main disease in the material life is the bodily conception, being baffled again and again in material activity. The conditioned soul temporarily thinks of the futility of material enjoyment. But again, he tries the same thing. By the association of devotees, a person may become convinced of the material futility. But he cannot give up his engagement, although he is very eager to return back home back to God. Under these circumstances, Supreme Personality of God, who is situated in everyone's heart, compassionately takes away all material possessions of such a devotee. As stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:88, Yasyaham anugrahami harishye tad dhanam shanay. Lord Krishna says that he takes everything away from the devotee whom he especially favors when the devotee is overly attached to material possessions. When everything is taken away, the devotee feels helpless and frustrated in the society. Friendship and love. He feels that his family does not care for him any longer, and he therefore completely surrenders to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. This is a special favor granted by the Lord to a devotee who cannot fully surrender to the Lord due to strong bodily consumption, as explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22:39. Ami vigya ei viṣaya-vaitathyaḥ va. The Lord understands the devotee who hesitates to engage in the Lord's service, not knowing whether he should again try to revive his material life. After repeated attempts and failures, he fully surrenders to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Lord then gives him direction, and attaining happiness, he forgets all the material engagement.
sakṛd tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavestam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakaman Sahagana Raghunathan Samsidev Sadvaitam Savadhutam Prijana Sahitam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Keshavani Sutile Mancha Kalpa Sarvyasya Vipāsana Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Hare Hare Krishna. So first we repeat the translation. The conditioned soul, repeat, sometimes personally appreciates the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world. And he sometimes considers material enjoyment to be full of miseries. However, due to his strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed. And again, he runs after material enjoyment just as an animal runs after a mirage in the desert. So Śrīmad Goswami is explaining over here that sometimes the materialist can see that there is no sense of enjoyment in the material world, and he thinks, yes, I should give up all this nonsense activity and take to spiritual life. I'm sure we've all met people who say, yes, you're right, there's misery in life, but tomorrow then they change their mind. So Śrīmad Goswami in this chapter has been explaining how important it is that we should give up sense enjoyment. And if you carefully analyze, the entire Bhagavatam is devoted to this one theme. And the theme is utilize the rare human body in service to the Lord. Unfortunately, there are so many schools and colleges, nobody teaches us this important element. So Śrīmad Goswami just is explaining in detail in this Bhagavatam. And in the previous few chapters, you read about the instruction from Jad Bharat to King Ravana. And now Śrīmad Goswami is continuing on the theme that we must give up sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment is our greatest enemy. And as long as we pursue that path, we remain entangled in the cycle of birth and death. That's why the Bhagavatam takes 18,000 verses to illustrate the importance of spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita also, because these are our big obstacles. So in the previous 9 verses, very elaborately, Śrīmad Goswami has explained the foolishness of sense enjoyment. He gives the example. A moth sees a light in the night, and it is very attracted to light. So the moth goes and sits on that bulb, and with the heat of the bulb, he dies. The fish is very attracted to eating. So the fisherman, what does he do? He attaches the food to that hook, and the fish sees it, comes to satisfy her tongue, and he gets trapped by the cunning fisherman. The elephant is usually very difficult to capture. So how do you capture the elephant? The he-elephant is made to follow the she-elephant. They dig a ditch, cover it with grass, and the he-elephant walks on that ditch covered by grass and falls in the hole. The deer is an animal very hard to capture. How do they capture the deer? They play a particular melody to which the deer is very attracted. And the deer tries to locate where is that melody coming from? And in the meantime, he gets shot. The bee is very attracted to fragrance. So it moves from flower to flower. Then comes and sits on the lotus flower and says, this is what I was looking for. This is real samadhi. And then in the evening, when the lotus flower closes, the bee gets trapped too. Yes. So Śrīmad Goswami gave these examples, I'm sure you've heard before, to illustrate how somebody who becomes a victim of someone addicted to the senses gets captured. So again and again, Srila Goswami is making this point. Now what he's saying here, the conditioned souls, we are all conditioned souls. We are conditioned by so many factors. And as long as you identify with the body, we are conditioned souls. So what is our weakness? Our weakness is we are too attracted to sense enjoyment. But sometimes the conditioned soul says, oh, this sense enjoyment is not possible. This sense enjoyment is just hallucination. And we should not pursue this path. Waste of time. Shrama, evai, kevalam, simply a waste of time. Sometimes the conditioned soul says, where is enjoyment? You must be having experience. Sometimes you devotees go out to preach, and your preaching is very effective. And the man says, yes, Swamiji, what you're saying is right. There is no enjoyment in the material world. In the material world, what? Nothing creates of misery, dukkha, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita. But then a little later, he sings a different tune. He says, yes, it is full of misery, but there is enjoyment also. So that we fulfill that path. Just like when you go to a funeral, when someone passes away, we are all very grave. But then after some time, that gravity goes away. So the conditioned soul personally understands the sense enjoyment is not beneficial. As it is said in the scriptures, sense enjoyment can never satisfy you. You can never be satisfied by pursuing the path of sense enjoyment. There will always be misery. And to think that I can find real enjoyment in the material world is, what is it called? Simply a dream. So the conditioned soul sometimes personally appreciates that there is no real enjoyment in the material world. And he considers material enjoyment to be full of miseries. Material world is basically full of misery, isn't it? Vikaranam and shashvatam. So sometimes when the conditioned soul is in the right mentality, he understands that this material body can never really be enjoyed. Anyone who says, I will enjoy, I will find real happiness through material endeavors, is simply what? Simply a foolish man. So sometimes the conditioned soul comes to the realization that the material world is full of miseries, and I should make plans to get out of here. Like Prabhupada used to say, a gentleman will always try to find out how to free oneself from these miseries of life. He is a real gentleman. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami met the Lord in Ramakeli in Bengal. They were holding very important positions with our Nawab, vibhraṁśita-smṛtis. And when they met him, they said, in society everyone considers us to be intelligent, but we do not know who we are. So, Kiyami, please explain who we are. So that is real intelligence. We've heard this many times, but it doesn't sink into our head. So sometimes the conditioned soul recognizes, yes, there is misery in life. I must not waste it. I will not waste even 1 second, because as Shnakyapan had said, a minute lost cannot be made up with the wealth of the entire world. Maharaj Khatwanga was a very pious king. He had helped the demigods in a battle with the asuras. So the demigods were very obliged. What can we do for you in exchange? You made us victorious over the asuras. The demigod said, just tell us how much time I have we've left to live. And the marīci-toya said, a minute more. So they at once descended to this world to meditate on the Lord while leaving the body. So that is actually a devotee's mentality. I don't have much time left. But having come to the material world, we also forget it. And the Prabhupada is saying, due to the bodily concept of life, we forget that there is nothing but misery in material life. From beginning to end. Sometimes people say, you people are very pessimistic. You're always talking about misery, old age, death, disease. You only have something better to talk about. They say that. Because the reality is that people don't like hearing the truth. They say in English, the truth hurts. When you speak the truth, they feel hurt. They don't want to. They want to hear something, some artificial sweet talk. But the devotee, he speaks the truth. The scriptures speak the truth. When Prabhupada went to America, he was advised, don't present this philosophy in such a strict manner. The Prabhupada refused to compromise. So the conditioned soul appreciates sometimes that there is really no sense of enjoyment in the material world. And this is propaganda. Propaganda by whom? By the material. You know, a few weeks ago, I think I told you, we had a court case in New York. And in that court case, ISKCON-1. The other side was trying to prove that these Hare Krishnas, they're just brainwashing our children. And they have completely changed his life. So Prabhupada said, you can wash the brain if you have something. But then he said, brainwashing? We're not brainwashing. We're just undoing the damage that they have done. The material is, I'm brainwashing us. What does advertising do? You see advertisements on the road? What do you see advertisements on the radio? What do they do? It's trying to brainwash you, isn't it? What are they trying to brainwash you? Buy this product and you'll be happy. They're trying to brainwash you. Prabhupada gave us a story. Once there was a deaf husband. Prabhupada said this is a Bengali story. So there was a deaf husband who was calling his wife, come here. The wife was cooking in the kitchen. She said, I'm coming. Then he said again, come here. He said, I'm coming. And finally he got impatient. Are you deaf? You can't hear I'm calling you for such a long time. But actually he was deaf. What she said, are you deaf? So we live in a society of cheated and cheated. Bhakti-Siddhanta used to say, this is a society of cheated and cheated. People are ready to cheat and people are ready to be cheated. They don't mind. So the conditioned soul comes under the illusion that the material body, which is sense enjoyment, is not the ultimate goal of life. The goal of life is to take to spiritual life. But he has that realization, but then he changes. You must have seen devotees come and take your association, you all preach, and they're very agreeable. But then 2 days later, you meet them, they don't even recognize you. Because then they again come under the influence of the illusory energy. Therefore it is said, we should constantly stay in the association of devotees. Association with devotees helps us stay on the right path. And that's why all the acharyas have said, sadhu sangha, sarva sadhukaya. So in the purport, Prabhupada is making the point that by the engagement of association of devotees, you can stay on the right path. In the purport, Prabhupada has quoted in the purport of this verse, Prabhupada has quoted 2 verses, one from Chaitanya-Charitamrita and one from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which explain that when the Lord sees a devotee is serious about spiritual life, what does he do? This is 10:88:8. The personality of God has said, if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way he suffers one distress upon another. So the Lord is saying here, that when I have special favor to somebody, when I see that this man wants spiritual life, but he still has some entanglements and attachment, what does the Lord do? He deprives him of his wealth. He takes away everything. So in this way, the person may be fully dependent upon him. In the first canto of the Bhagavatam, Queen Kunti says, vibhraṁśita-smṛtis. My dear Lord, please increase my calamities. Does anybody say increase my calamities? Does anyone say that? Does anyone say, please give me more miseries? No, nobody says that. We're always praying, please give me comfort, please take away my misery. But Queen Kunti says, oh my Lord, please take away my miseries. Why? Because the more misery you give me, the more I meditate at the lotus feet. And the more you meditate at the lotus feet, the faster we'll get freedom from what? Birth and death. Sometimes when these miseries happen, we say, why is it happening to me? But Queen Kunti says, let the miseries come. Because the devotee in a miserable condition just turns to the Lord. A materialist in a miserable condition experiences may go away from the Lord. But a devotee in a difficult position just turns to the Lord. Therefore Queen Kunti says, my dear Lord, please increase my calamities. And the more the calamities come, the more I remember your lotus feet. And the more I remember your lotus feet, the faster I gain freedom from. In the 4th canto you read the story of Dhruva Maharaj. How Dhruva Maharaj underwent great austerity. And why? He underwent great austerities. He wanted to please the Lord. He was sitting on his on his father's lap, when his stepmother asked him to get off the lap and take birth again for mine to home. Then he became eligible to sit on his father's lap. Dhruva was told by his mother, only God can help you. And to get the mercy of the Lord, he underwent great austerity. So after he got the audience with the Lord, the Lord said, Dhruva, ask me for anything you want. For me, you underwent so many difficulties. Dhruva said, I was looking for what? Broken glass. But now I found a diamond. So there's nothing I want. So this Krishna consciousness is like a diamond. And in the absence of spiritual life, we're attracted to wealth, sense enjoyment, power, etc. But when you come in contact with devotees, you realize the value of devotional service. And you develop a higher taste.